All right. Our next speaker has been involved in network marketing for a very long time, 17 years. I've known her for, I think I've known her for about 9 years. She's a mother of 2. She definitely appreciates having balance in her life. She has earned as much as $45,000 in a single month in downline commissions. I think that's decent cash. Hey, who in the room would like to have a $45,000 monthly check? Could you survive on it? She's also a master at building relationships online. In fact, since she brought her business online, she has personally sponsored over 1,200 people using the internet. And she is a dynamic person when it comes to using the internet to build a relationship, which ultimately leads to sponsoring, recruiting, and team building. And she is very, very good at what she does. Please help me welcome our first speaker of the day, Miss Jackie Ulmer.
9 a.m. in Vegas on a Saturday? What are they thinking, right? But thank you for those who came. I was running a little behind today, so I just threw on my bathrobe and my pink fluffy slippers. Well, my message today is going to be a little bit different. I actually have the pink slippers on because someone who I'm a very big fan of, Randy Gage, so if you see this, Randy, you'll know why I wore these for you, put a blog post out once that said, if you think you can build this sitting behind your computer with your telephone and your pink fuzzy slippers on, you're crazy. And I thought, should I tell him I am? I don't know. So anyway, that's the pink fuzzy slippers. Well, my message today is going to be a little bit different than possibly what you've heard from some of our other speakers and some that'll be out there. I did take my business online about 11 and a half years ago, and it truly did change everything for me. But I'm not a techno person at all. I know just enough to get myself out there and very often get myself in trouble. I know just enough to build a list and do blog posts and get out on social media. So I use the internet as a tool, and what I really want to deliver, the message I want to deliver to you today really is to learn how to use the tools of the internet as a tool in your toolbox. How many times can you say tool, right? Just so you get a well-rounded sense of how to combine the best of both offline, online, etc. See, I went a full 2 years in building my business online. I was still, doing leads, going to my local networking event, going to BNI, working offline, etc. I mean, I didn't discontinue those things as I started building online. So I kind of want to pass that message on to you today. So that's a little bit about what we're going to share. Today, I did start my network marketing experience in January of 1994. I was a huge skeptic, which I'll get into my story here in just a few minutes. Some of you may be able to relate to that. I was one of those people who thought that you only did network marketing if you couldn't get a real job. Anyone relate to that? I came from sales and marketing in the airline industry. I had a great career. I was a professional partier, really and truly. That's what I did for a living. I traveled around the world in first class and on an expense account for an airline, and I wined and dined travel agents and corporate accounts with my goal of getting them to fly on our airline. And of course, after you wine and dine somebody, the odds are pretty good that they'll fly your airline, right? It's kind of like a little bribe. Well, that's what I did, and I'm married to an airline pilot, and so when we decided to have children, who's going to stay home and raise the kids? Well, we ultimately decided that would be me, but that didn't stop me from wanting to still continue somewhat of a career, and I didn't know what that was going to look like, so I started looking, and everything kept pointing me back to network marketing, and I just really didn't want to do one of those things. Anybody else relate to that? Just did not want to do one of those things. Well, my sponsor in my first company, who's actually my sponsor now in my company that I'm currently with, came to me. We were good friends. We both worked at an airline together, and he came to me to talk to me about his opportunity, and I was literally, talk to the hand. I don't do that. I don't do that. That was in 1992, and about 15 months later, I'm home with my first child and absolutely determined to find a way to stay home with him. My friend, my sponsor, pulls up in front of my house for Christmas dinner driving a BMW. Now, it was a used BMW. It wasn't even fancy. And I'm not a big BMW fan, nothing personal, but that So it wasn't about the BMW, it was about what it represented. It represented success to me. And at that point, he couldn't have signed me up fast enough in his business. So, 15 months, no thanks, no network marketing. 15 months later, couldn't sign me up fast enough because I wanted to be home. So that's just a quick little lesson in people's timing and why follow-up is so important. It's so important that you stay in touch with people because you never know when their situation and their mindset will change about network marketing. Well, I built my business offline the old school, anybody hear that term? Old school, old-fashioned way for about 6 years. I made my list, I started contacting people, and I had success. And that took me to the point where I am today. But in October of 1999, my company was one of the first to begin launching personal websites for its distributors. And I really knew nothing about the internet. I mean, nothing. I was so green, it wasn't even funny. We had gotten the internet in our home about 6 months earlier so that my husband could download his pilot bids, although he could never figure out how to do it, so he always still had to go to the flight office and have them print them off for him because he couldn't figure out that technology. He can today, so that's a good thing. And we had email, and I would get online, once every couple days and check my email, and there wasn't usually much in there. Spam didn't really exist at that point. Wow, wasn't that amazing? But our company was launching personal websites, and one of my downlines said to me, hey, there's this internet marketing seminar. I lived in Phoenix at the time. There's an internet marketing seminar up in Scottsdale on Saturday afternoon. Let's go to it. We can pass out business cards and talk to people, and we can learn a little bit about this internet thing and what we should do with these websites. So that really started my journey. I sat there listening, thought, wow, if people are going online to find a restaurant in Buffalo, New York, and the cure for the common cold, surely some people are coming online looking for a home-based business, right? Didn't it just make sense? And I thought, I need to get to the internet. Well, as I mentioned, I was greener than green, but I was absolutely determined and committed. I knew this tool was going to be something really powerful for home-based business and for my network marketing business. And again, it's important to note, before I took my business online, I had developed my business skill set of network marketing offline. I knew how to contact, I knew how to invite, I knew how to present, I knew how to follow up, I knew how to follow up consistently, and I knew how to overcome objections. A lot of times people want to go to the internet because they're avoiding something. They think it's going to be easier. And my own experience has shown in my own business working with my team, if you don't have that skill set of being able to really communicate effectively with people and you don't have your belief level high enough about network marketing first before you go online, it's not going to make any difference. If the lead comes in, chances are you're still not going to pick up the phone and call them. And if you're not going to pick up the phone and call them, then I will, because I talk to people every week, every day, et cetera, leads that come in that say, geez, I filled out 5, 10 other forms and you're the first person who's ever called me. And I almost always sponsor those people into my business. So it's important to note those things. And I really want to dispel the myth of old school, new school. That's been a real divide, I think, in our profession since the internet's come along. But it's all about building relationships and really connecting with people. And so it's important to listen up if residual income through a network marketing business is really what you're interested in. So let's talk a little bit about what are the components that I use and that I feel are necessary if you want to build a successful business online. And if you want to do it in the way that I've done it. I want to be really quick to say, there are a lot of different ways to build a business online, just like there are offline, right? Offline, you make your warm market list, you can join a BNI group, you can go to the Chamber of Commerce, you can go out mall walking, you can lifestyle and meet people as you're out and about, you can go to shows and expos. There's a lot of different ways that you can build your business. It's the same way online. And I'm a big advocate, what I coach my own team on is find those methods that really truly resonate with you. Find what you're passionate about. But I started in October of 1999. I went to that internet marketing seminar, and oddly enough, call it serendipitous, call it coincidence, I don't think it was. As it turned out, that Tuesday, they were having a seminar on how to create leads using the internet. Wow, I mean, that was just amazing. I hadn't even thought about the internet as a tool for my business. I go to this seminar, and then all of a sudden, this internet marketing seminar comes up. So I get myself replaced. I was supposed to do the big business presentation in Phoenix, Arizona. I called and got a replacement, signed up for the teleconference. Webinars weren't really happening yet, and got on. And this guy kept telling, all he really kept talking about is that you had to have a personal website. You needed something that sold you first and your company and product second. Sound familiar? Still hasn't changed. 11 and a half years later, that's still really a key piece to what we do. It can be very simple. You don't have to be a super techie. Trust me, I am not a super techie by any stretch of the imagination, and I've managed to do it. I've never taken a computer class in my life, and up until about 2 years ago when I went to my first internet marketing seminar, I had never learned anything about the internet and never taken any kind of web design class, any of that. And so believe me, technology is not my biggest strength. I'm not an analytical at all, so you don't have to be to put some of this stuff together. But that really is it today. These are some of the core components that you really need to develop your online marketing strategy, and then from there you can get out and do anything. So you want a personal website or blog or both in this day and age with WordPress. You can have a site/blog, and that's really your hub of the universe. That is where you want to make everything happen. From there, of course, you need to add lead capture, because what's the point of having people come to your website if you have no way of knowing that they were there, right? You need to have a way to capture their information. And then from there, it's really about making those connections. And I call it, getting social out on social media. That is really the core of how I built my business. And then finally, really the biggest thing with it is really have fun and connect with people. Because see, if you're gonna be a network marketer and you're gonna build your business in network marketing, it is a people business. You have to be people-oriented. You have to enjoy people. You have to enjoy connecting. And honestly, when I set out in October of '99, that was my goal. My goal was to be able to have somebody find me, find my site, sign up, learn about my business, learn all about everything they needed to know, and sign up without ever having a phone conversation. Now, that was my goal, but that wasn't my biggest desire. I just wanted to have it out there in such a way that that could happen, right? Does that make sense? But I still much prefer to have a conversation with someone, to start building that relationship, to really, connect and bond as a partnership, because that's what an upline downline is. I prefer to call it a partnership versus the upline downline. It is a partnership, and we're going to be working together as a team. And so I really like to make sure that we're on common ground, that our expectations of each other, et cetera, are in sync, blah, 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 blah. So the important part of it is having fun, being out there, and truly connecting with people to make a difference. That's such a big part of it, because while we may go online looking for a business, who wants to do business with a robot? Anybody? I mean, you want to know that there's going to be someone there to answer your phone call and answer your questions and, give you that little pep talk from time to time if you need one, or give you an attaboy if you sponsored a new person, or whatever it is that went on in your business. You want to know that there's someone there who's on your team. And so that's a big part of it, is really building that team.
For a free 10-day online recruiting bootcamp and to dive deep into rejection-free sponsoring methods using the internet, click the link above or go directly to elitemarketingpro.com/go. I'll see you there.